get down to the mess of the mess. I said, baby, I said this day, oh God, Friday was going good and it just got terrible because people keep calling me and they done got on my nerves already. And it's family as usual. And I said they always calling for something. And it is irritating. But let's get down to the mess of the mess, y'all. So let's get to have a little fun. So on this Good Friday, y'all. So let's get down to it. These are the topics that we'll be talking about today. And first up and foremost, it is Chad Johnson himself with he was a little mad about Claire's. I think I'm saying it right. I think it's a clothing store. I ain't never heard of it. I ain't never heard of this clothing store in my life. But it must be a clothing store down south. And it must be one of his favorite places to go. But they didn't file bankruptcy, and everything. And I said, so he didn't post it on his social media like, oh man. I said, so he gotta find somewhere else to shop. He gotta pick another spot that he has to see where he gonna go to get his shopping on. But hopefully, maybe you file bankruptcy in chapter 11, whatever it is, bankruptcy it is. Things may work out where they may have to do a rebranding, and they could be back in the stores. Who knows? He may have his store back. But that's what's going on with Mr. Chad. He was a little upset about that, but now let's move to the next. And let's get into a little mess of the mess and tragedy. A Texas woman ended up losing her life after being mauled to death by her boyfriend Pitbull. So this Pitbull, it's on her birthday of all days, and she loses her life on her birthday, which is the saddest thing of all. My condolences to the family and everything. Come to find out, this dog actually, during the attack lasted for about, it said 23, the article said it lasted about 23 minutes. Um, yes, it lasted, she was calling for help and everything. I don't know where the boyfriend was. I don't know what was going on, but apparently this dog wouldn't let go to the point where it ripped her arm off. She was rushed to the hospital where she died from her injuries. The dog is now being detained. Come to find out, the dog don't have a chip in them. They said the dog may not even had none of these shots, or even be registered, which is crazy. And that pit bulls do get a bad rap and stuff, but come to find out, the neighbors said that dog was aggressive. They said that dog was always aggressive. Always aggressive. So they said it wasn't shocking that it actually, they said it wasn't shocking that it actually attacked one of the people that were taking care of the dog. So it's a little shocking and sad that this woman loses her life. She was only, what was it? She was either 28 or 29. When this happened, they ended up setting off balloons and stuff and going to her favorite bar that she used to go to on a Friday, to you know celebrate for her. My condolences to her for this. Yeah, tragedy. But let's move on past that. Let's get into the next thing that we got up, and that would be, oh yeah. Oops, hold up. Okay, that would be Republican. I forget her. Marjorie. I think it's Marjorie. Marjorie Taylor. Or Taylor. I forget her last name. Her first name it starts with an M, but I can't remember it right now. I want to say it's Marjorie. Hold up. Let me see if I can get the picture a little bit better. Yeah, it's Marjorie. I had it right. Marjorie Taylor Greene. So Miss Marjorie Taylor Greene coming out now all of a sudden. Now she had an epiphany that the Republicans and the megas do not care about women and regular folks. I said, girl, get out my face. I said, either you've been riding his coattails and you've been riding his coattails in riding that ride for so long, girl, please. And all the stuff you've been doing in these committees that you are part of and starting stuff and getting ready to get your and about to get ragtag. Come on. It's like you ain't seen nothing. You putting on a display to show that now you concerned. You ain't concerned about yourself. He got exactly what he wanted from y'all women who are on his side in the Republicans, he got what he wanted. Y'all voted for him. And he's doing exactly what he want to do in office this second time around. And you forget you are a woman and your rights are being taken. Where if you end up, girl, pregnant girl, you can't get that baby aborted. Aborted. And I said you taking a plan B does not mean, it may take, it may not. That's not always the case. So yeah, girl, you know what you did. But now you deal with the consequences. That's just how I feel about it. Because I said you're a mess. You're a true mess of a person and how you act. And now you trying to see, I had an epiphany. You haven't. But stay with Donald. He been doing you right this whole time. He ain't gonna stop. But let's move on to the next. Now, let's get into some mess. And now, y'all let me know about this. This is some foolery here. So, this was a customer at Walmart, at the photo booth at Walmart. And she ended in Memphis, of all places. This woman ended up going off on this young man right here who was working at the photo booth, because they got into a little issue where she actually started talking about his mom. She said, talking about this man mama. And when he said, your mama back then. She said, my mama. Then she want to jump at him, try to grab him and say, my mama's dead. Don't ever talk about my mom. I said, huh? I said, ma'am, you the one started this. I said, you the one started cussing. You started cussing at this. The video showed that you started cussing at this man. And you think because you started cussing at him because she wanted her pictures. But something must have went wrong where he couldn't give her pictures or something, and she didn't like that, and she had an attitude. And then she talked about his mama and then started, then when he said your mama back, then she want to get mad and say, don't ever talk about my effing mama. My mama died. I said, girl, okay, your point. I said, first of all, you started the whole mama thing. He never started any of that. Then you threw this man water bottle. You threw this man Gatorade bottle at him when he said your mama back to you. Ma'am, I said, then you want to come behind the counter and get in this man's face and say you better be glad he didn't put them balls on. Management came out, tried to get to the situation, give my effing pictures and stuff. It was so many people, workers came. And she just talking and still mad and everything else. And she gonna tell this, so it was the white girl who was at the desk trying to bring her out, and she tell me, don't y'all ever, because security didn't came. And I said, at this point, y'all should have escorted her out. And she like, don't none of y'all touch me. Don't ever touch me. I said, girl, you at Walmart. You acting a fool. Threatening people. So yes, security wants to escort you out. Yeah, because the white girl was like, okay, girl, okay, you can keep on, girl, what you want. The white, it's like everybody in there seemed like, it seemed like all the workers was like, I wish you would, ma'am. I wish you would. Because we got time and opportunity. I don't even like this job like that, but it pays the bills. I said, I've been looking for a heifer that I need to run up on. Because I said, she thought she was big and bad and all this. So I said, ma'am, you doing a lot with something that you started. when you started calling out names and stuff like that to this young man, and you get mad and you taking it out on everybody else. You got your pictures, but you still acting a fool after you got help by management and try to make this man seem like he was disrespectful to you. Yeah, that's what went on in Walmart. I said, I don't understand it. I said, there's some crazy stuff going on there. But ma'am, get a life. So let's move on to the next. And we got that will be okay. So let's get into love and hip hop, baby. Love and hip hop. So we got Lil Zane and his wife Ashley. So they had a little sit down at a little restaurant where she ended up talking about she want to get a mommy makeover. Where some people I was watching who I watched they live, they love and hip hop. I say my girl Jamie, that's me. Where she said that she think that it looked like um she had Ashley may have had some work done. And I'm like, I don't know. I said, I look at Ashley and I said, I don't see that she have got any work done, but she may have. Since the wigs are on her wigs are good and everything, and she's back on point, who knows? But so they have a little conversation where he tells how he felt. He said that that's his body. That he tell her that's his body. Her body is his, and he don't want her to change nothing about it. You need to love yourself. He ain't like, who told you you need to change your body? You've been hanging around the tight face squad. I said, hold up, and you hanging around nothing but hoes. I said, because you hang around nothing but the whole squad. And you out here hoeing as you usually is. But I said, if you love this one, to me, if you love this woman body so much, you wouldn't be out here cheating. You wouldn't be out here you wouldn't be out here flirting with these women. You wouldn't be out here doing none of that because you got the best thing in the world at home. Which you just, she said, after I had 2 kids, she like, my girls are gone. She like, shoot, I didn't birth 2 kids, girls gone. I've been wanting this. She been telling him this. She said she's been telling him this for years. And now she got the money. She done raised up the money that she had and she gonna get it done. That's what she getting done. And she told him, so you need to change things about you. You know, you go to the strip club at 4 in the morning, you be throwing money in front of these girls' faces, having on jewelry and stuff like that. You need to take that out too. He looked stupid when she said that. I said, because I said, you go to the strip clubs and you actually are around women who actually have had the full makeover. They have had their breasts done, they had their face done, they had everything under the sun, and you throwing money in they throwing money at them. They all up on you in your face, giving you lap dance, everything else. And I said, and you worried about this woman, the woman that you so called, the woman that you love and whatever, but you cheat on her. You flirt with women when you don't have to. I don't get it. But he ended up I like that he did tell how he felt, but he made it more about him instead of about her. She said, this is about me. She said, all I need you to do is to support me in what I'm gonna do. Because she was gonna go ahead and do it anyway. She already went and had a consultation with a surgeon, and Erica Banks went with her and stuff like that. And stuff. So it's something that she wants to do. She wants her girls done. I said, I hopefully that's all that she do get done. I said, she don't need nothing else done. I said, the girls is what she was really focused on. And that's it. I said, she only do, if she did do anything to her face, she got fillers or whatever, girl, stop. I said, stop. You don't need nothing. You good. The Lord blessed you with a good face, girl. You don't need no fillers. You don't need nothing. Get you some good skincare and get it, and you'll be popping. You don't need nothing else. You don't need nothing else, girl. You don't need nothing else. But it was a nice this was something I actually think this scene was actually good because you actually got to see something different with the married couples that's on the show. And it was more about a self-image, but at least he said he was gonna support her. What's the biggest thing, regardless of whatever. And he loved her regardless. She said, I love you too. And that's what went on there. Yeah. But let's move on past that, y'all. And let me see. Oh, that was the last thing I got up. Oh, baby, I'm done today. I said thank God. But thank y'all for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, and join the channel. It's your boy Paul, and y'all have a blessing. Bye, y'all.